All right, welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm David.
I'm Gary.
And today we're going to read about a question brought to us by one of the viewers.
Yes. QUAHOG 5518. I'm going to call it Quahog 5518. I don't know why there was 5,517 Quahogs.
Other claw hogs.
But here we are. And this was a suggestion that was made in the comments. And it looks like Quahog has a schnauzer. That's so. The thumbnail is a schnauzer, which that was our dog growing up. The question was, can you read on the future of the USA internally, which I mean take to mean domestically, and internationally? Thanks. And I thought that was actually a pretty interesting question.
So we're going to go do that. We'll just jump right in. Gary's will start off. We'll both do domestic, then we'll both do international, and call it good. So
we're going to read on the future of the USA domestically for entertainment purposes only. What do we need to know about the future of the USA?
And new record. We got started with it 1 minute and 10 seconds.
That's pretty good. You wanted to do it in a minute. My deck was upside down. Okay. Foundation is the Five of Swords. This is typically defined as the no one to fight, no one to walk away. No one to count your money. Don't count your money when you're sitting at the table. So no one to fight, no one to walk away. The challenge is the Page of Swords. But right now we seem to be super willing to just fight. And that could be on politically, both political parties fighting. This could be Trump willing and MAGA willing to pick a fight with anybody if they don't agree with dear leader. And we're talking domestically, so we're not going to go into the tariffs and stuff, but there's a lot of anger and truth and wanting to stick to your truth. The energy underneath is the Four of Cups, just emotionally unhappy. There's a peace offering out there, but we're not quite ready to accept it. I think right now domestically we're too caught up in the fight. I hate to say we're like Iran and Iraq, where they've been throwing sticks at each other for thousands of years, but we're kind of at a situation where we're not quite really ready to start forgiving. There's too much outrage, and that outrage is being fueled by the political parties. It's being fueled by corporate media. We have no relief from this. It's like we're constantly being bombarded with this. In the past, you got the Six of Wands. Trump celebrating his victory, and he's going to. I
was going to say, with the take a look at it. What you've got is a current established government that listens to nobody and does everything that they want to do, and then the young people rising up. Yep. Why? Because there's discontent with what the government's doing, and it starts with Trump's victories.
Yep.
Keep going.
Yep. The current energy is the Magician. It's time to manifest a change. Yeah. It is time to start making our future. And we just got done with the reading with Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris is now going to focus on young voters and getting them engaged with politics.
For entertainment purpose only, that's what we're guessing.
Yes. We also got the King of Swords as the overarching energy. It's time to bring the truth forward. It's time to be truthful. There's so much misinformation and partial facts and alternative facts. We need to start bringing our truth forward and sticking to the truth.
Alternative facts is another word for lies.
Indeed. The lesson to be learned is the Five of Cups. There is a lot of division domestically in the United States, and it's really the whole MAGA movement has divided the United States, and it is causing sorrow. We're not united anymore. We're the divided states of America, and that's the feeling I'm getting from that Five of Cups. The lesson to be learned is we should be working together, and we're just right now. There's so much bad things, so much divisive things happening is causing people sadness. But the outcome is the Ace of Wands. New actions being taken. Speaking softly, but carrying a big stick. It's time to take actions. We need to take action. That's what I got for the future of the U.S. domestically.
Okay. In that same question, I'm wondering if I get something maybe a little further out, because Gary's a really good reading of what's happening right now. It's like
Yeah,
that's going to be the future, is that people are dissatisfied with something, and when we decide to show energy to take it back, we'll get it back. Let's see what I get. Same question. What's the future of the U.S.? I'm hoping I'll get something a little bit further out in the future, but we'll find out when the cards come down, right? Okay, so we're at a crossroads here, the United States, and it's about the victory, who the real winner is. And underneath it all is the Eight of Wands. There's a lot of information coming, a lot of change coming quickly. And it's helping people decide, who do you want to lead you in your leadership going forward. In the past, you had the King of Cups. You've had We've had governments that have been kinder to people, but the governments have never been fully kind to the people. Um, as one of the readers I was listening to today, I think it was Susan Lynn, said, "Yeah, the Democrats get in charge, and you don't still get universal health care. You get a couple little cookies, but you don't get the big thing that you really want." So we have our favorites, but you need to decide what path you're going to go down. Future of the United States, current situation, Three of Wands, getting ready for what's to come, making plans as to how you want this future to shape up. There could be international help. The U.S. may get knocked down a peg from leader of the free world to participant in the free world. Overarching engines on S swords. There's a new energy coming forward. This could be battles coming forward in the U.S. Recklessness. The U.S. has the current government's really reckless.
yeah.
But there may be a new charge that's coming forward in the U.S. in the future. Lesson to be learned is Queen of Wands, and this was our Kamala Harris card, but this is the thinking about what you want in the future, the actions you're going to take, but doing it from a place of compassion, as opposed, look at all this wand energy, as opposed to recklessness. Do we want the paternal or do we want the maternal? Outcome, 10 of Wands. This is going to be a hard slog. There's no way around it. If we want the change, we're going to have to go through the change. If we can keep the eye on the prize in the distance, it's going to help with the burden getting there. But you need the passion, you need the drive in order to do it. The U.S. will be changing, and hopefully we choose to change for the better in a more basically moving from the patriarchy to a matriarchy, and the matriarchy will be a bit more compassionate. I don't know how it can be less compassionate than the patriarchy is. Now, internationally,
Yes.
future of the U.S. in the international realms.
Okay, future of the U.S. in the international realms. Okay, in the international arena, what's the future of the U.S. here?
Yeah.
Internationally, upside down again. Okay.
Well.
Okay, so people being every time I see this, I just zoom right into here. Big money is warm and comfortable, and everyone else is out on the outside looking in, in discomfort. So how do I want to read this? How is the U.S. Internationally in the future? It seems like they're just there's refugee situations where we need to help and we're not helping. We have the ability, we have the resource, but we're not motivated, it seems. The challenge is the Knight of Swords, because we've been acting probably recklessly at home, but just acting. It's something we need to be acting more quickly on. this could totally be Gaza. What's happening in Gaza right now with all these people starving? The Palestinians, the rank and file Palestinians didn't do anything wrong, but they're the ones that are suffering in this whole war. And we need to do something. We need to act quickly. Energy underneath it is the chariot. The U.S., the energy of the U.S., they're pushing their policies forward, but everything is going to move. Everything's moving slowly. And now when I say they're pushing their policy, this could be the reaction internationally to these policies, that there's a movement moving forward as a result of that. It's not necessarily a positive movement. Oh, God. In the past, the death card, just killing relationships, killing just break. It's almost like the tower card. You're just tearing down the relationships and how we have conducted ourselves in the past, whether it's agencies that help with AIDS or help with war-torn countries, relationships with countries and leaders. It's just, this is an end of a cycle. Current energy, the U.S. internationally, the Four of Wands. People are going to start coming together and having some celebrations. This could be trade agreements. This could be new alliances between foreign countries. Overarching energy is the Ace of Cups, but a new emotion is coming forward. One thing's for sure, with Trump's attacking different nations like Canada, the nationalism in Canada, the patriotism in Canada has definitely increased, where they've closed ranks. And I'm sure that's happening in like in Scotland. Well, Scotland probably always had very closed ranks, but people are seeing how the U.S. is conducting themselves, and they're not happy about it. You got 15-year-old girls in Scotland out there protesting Trump. The lesson to be learned: the emperor. You make a president a king, and he's in charge of the most powerful nation in the world. It's going to have an impact internationally. Outcome: the Hangman. So the Hangman could be the U.S. not liking the situation that it's occurring in. It could just be turning everything on its ear. My gut feeling with the Hangman is the U.S. is kind of throwing its international leadership role under the bus.
Yeah.
And they are going to take a back seat and let other people lead. They're opening the door to let others lead.
That first card you threw, I was thinking, I wonder if the U.S. is going to be a pariah as they crash the world economy. And and as we back out of treaties, impose tariffs, and basically act like a spoiled 2-year-old, which we've been doing, I guess, for the last 80 years, but we've never been any worse than we are now. And other countries are just like, you know what? Yeah, go ahead, have a tantrum. We'll work without you. You don't need. We might get kicked out of the club. That's
exactly.
Future of the U.S.
But as Groucho Marx said, I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would
accept me. Yes. Knight of Pentacles. There's going to be patience. Knight of Pentacles. Going forward with values with patience, slowly. Crossed with the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so once the U.S. is done, okay, there's going to be tariffs too. We'll go with this one. If it's like the current situation with the tariffs and people rethinking their values, but it's going to also be the U.S. having to redeem themselves in the future. It's almost like a plea for the world, like, please be patient with us. We're going through crazy town right now. This is not who we are, but apparently it's exactly who we are.
Yep.
And it's being revealed to everybody. The truth of the United States is being revealed. What we say we are versus how we're acting we are different. And look at all the money cards.
It's all about money, isn't it?
All about money. Everything's about money and being the biggest money thing in the world and driving the world economy. But people, it's like kitchen table issues are going to challenge this. Current situation is the Six of Wands. Leader of the free world, so to speak. But this leader of the free world stuff only happens if you're willing to interact in the free world. And right now, Trump is taking us back to the 20s and the 30s with the conservative laissez-faire
Well,
approach.
it's almost like Teddy Roosevelt,
Let's make America great again by not spending any money outside the United States or taking any money in from outside the United States. It's causing other leaders to step up. It's forcing European leaders to step up. It's going to be difficult times for everyone going forward. If the new administration comes in, they have to undo the BS that Trump did the first time, and like Biden did through much of his was damage control. The next several administrations are going to have to do damage control because how can they trust us? We can have one election and be right back to where we were before, violating treaties and doing stuff that we agreed to. How can the world ever trust the U.S. again? As you were saying, just throwing our reputation under the bus and may never get it back. Lesson we learn is the Nine of Swords. Again, as I was mentioning about Crazy Town. New leadership in the world has to come up. You can't trust the United States anymore. You just can't. Maybe you never could. It helped when the United States was generous, when people had natural disasters and was always willing to give. But with U.S. aid being cut and any election can bring in a dictator in the United States, it causes anxiety throughout the world.
We're not reliable.
Outcome is the Four of Swords. U.S. needs to take a back seat. They just absolutely need to take a back seat. Other leaders need to come up, and the U.S., they could be, again, one of the top four powers in the world, or, kind of like the UN has the Security Council. They could be a top power, but it's going to have to be other countries, EU nations stepping up and becoming a check and a balance to the U.S. Just like we have checks and balances to China. You're gonna want that. Just like NATO is a military check and balance to Russia and probably eventually China as well. You want that. You want those coalitions built so that you have power, but you can't let the U.S. always lead, because then what happens is you always defer, thinking the U.S. is doing what's best for the world, but then you find out they've always been doing what's best for us. And if the world benefited, well, that was what a happy coincidence.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a story. I was taking a walk at work, and I work at a government center, and there was an older Mexican lady who was asking where the Social Security office was. And I was talking to her to tell her, well, it used to be like 2 blocks this way, but they closed the office. So I pulled out my phone. It's like, oh, okay, it's about a half mile away. And so I asked her, would you like me to walk with you? I can show. I can't necessarily explain where it is, but I can walk you there. Because I was on lunch. I was going on a walk anyways. So she and I were walking to the Social Security office, and she was commenting that, in her mind, she worked at Stanford University in the housekeeping, residential and dining services. She was a housekeeper.
Okay.
And she was saying that, in her mind, if you're a white male, you're really intelligent. I said, I hate to break the news to you, but there's a lot of white males out there that are really, really freaking dumb.
Yeah. That being said, it's very difficult to get into Stanford, and it will have a lot of Caucasian males in it. And if you were going to see a Caucasian male who was a student or even a professor at Stanford, chances are they're probably really, really smart. Yeah. So
anyone you
bias from the location she's in.
Yeah, anyone you ran into at Stanford University is going to be really, really bright. Yeah. But it was just, it's like, don't put too much value into people who are wealthy, or stereotyping just because someone's a white male or a rich white male, they know what they're doing. They don't. They make it, fake it till you make it, right? So I want to do one more reading. Just what's one last thing, what, as far as what other thing do we need to know? Just anything about the U.S.
Domestically or internationally?
Either.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. What do we need to know? Six of Cups. It's okay to be kind.
No, it's not.
Because if you're not kind, it creates a nightmare situation. Or this could be, if you're too nostalgic about how things were in the past, it's going to create problems.
Right. What 50s do you want to live in? It's an argument which century.
The Seven of Wands, defend your beliefs, defend your values, defend your democracy. God, it's just awful cards. The Five of Cups. If you don't move forward and fight off those that are trying to hold you back, it's not going to end well. You're not going to be happy with the results. You're going to basically, I think what this is saying is, if we don't change, get used to what you're seeing. Because
you can't go. How about this, Gary? You can't go forward when you're constantly looking over your shoulder at the past.
Totally. But it's just the actions that are being taken now are creating anxiety, unhappiness. People are fighting, and they're tired of fighting. That's what I'm getting.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much for watching this video and supporting our channel. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, if you like these videos, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit the bell. We'll wake you up at midnight with a reading just like this, and you'll be awake for the rest of the night, but we'll be sleeping.
And we do special things for our viewers, like give them secret cards.
Yes.
And shout outs.
How about I'm going to call it Quahog. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. How about a nice secret card for Quahog for coming up with this suggestion here?
Ten of Swords. That was the last time. After you've butchered this name multiple times, they'll probably unsubscribe from the channel and into one of those bargain basement tarot channels.
And then how about a shout out for Lena? Oh my goodness.
Rodriguez, yes, it's the auntie, Australian auntie. We love you. Mwah. Kisses, darling.
I'm going to call that Litanwa. Litonjua. Litanwa.
Yeah, I think you pronounced it correctly.
Hopefully that was close enough where she's willing to celebrate that. And then how about Door 2025? Hi, Door 2025.
Like DOOR 2025?
A single O, DOR 2025. Yes. And then a very frequent commenter, Carmen 270, also known as McHugh 270. I think I gave her a shout out just recently.
Keep it coming.
Yeah, that's right. Start donating. And then a card for the rest of us. I'll take it right off the top there.
It's gonna be the 5 of coins. You 5 of coins us, didn't you?
No, it was just the first card of the reading. It's just like, okay, that's
no.
Knight of Pentacles. No, think about it before you donate.
That's right. What beer would Gary like, and how much money is it going to cost him to afford it?
Yes.
You don't have to buy him a whole beer. You can buy him part of a beer.
That's fine.
A mouthful. Okay. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and we will catch you on the next one. Take care.
Yay. Take care, folks. Bye.